Hey guys, UrbanSuburban here with another video for you. As you can see, it is a knife review. On the table here I have the absolutely fantastic Sog Northwest Ranger, if I can spit that out. I guarantee I couldn't say that 3 times fast. I have not had this knife very long, but I fell in love with it very quickly. In fact, I would say immediately. I looked at this the last few times I was at Cabela's. They had 2 of them on the shelf forever. I don't know why. And I went, I guess I was there 2 weeks ago, and realized that I had a gift certificate in my wallet that would more than cover the price of this knife. In fact, I picked up another that I will be doing a review on shortly as well. But I picked this up. This in a folder, and I am extremely happy that I did. This is, I say this probably every time I buy a knife, but right now this is going to be my go-to fixed blade, I think, in the bulk of situations that I find myself in. Still love my Mora. I pretty much always have my Mora on my belt when I'm out and about. This will be there too, whether the Mora is or is not. This Northwest Ranger is fantastic. I'll go over the specs quickly here for you. Sorry guys, I'm still just recovering from that summer cold or whatever it is I had, some sort of funky virus, who knows, but so the voice is still a little off, but we'll carry on. Anyway, as you can see, made by Sog, as it says on the handle and on the blade here. This is a Taiwanese produced knife, if that'll focus. There we go. So made in Taiwan, manufactured in Taiwan, put together in Taiwan, whatever. This has a 5.2-inch blade, which I find to be just about perfect for a bush knife, field craft, whatever you want to call it. Not too big, not too small, kind of a jack of all trade size. I have found it to be darn near perfect. Craton handle, which is different from a lot of the knives I have. Most are a G10 or a micarta or something like that. This is a craton, which is basically a rubber of some sort. As you can see, they're very aggressive looking diamond pattern on the sides, and then on the top and bottom more of a rib pattern with sort of a swell to the end here and up towards the cross guard here. Very, very comfortable in hand. Very grippy. Depending on what you're doing, it can almost be too grippy. If you want to sort of do a snap cut, something like that, you're going to get a lot of friction where you're letting it sort of slide in your hand. But very, very comfortable. Wet and dry. Very grippy. I like it. The craton, I imagine, I haven't experienced this yet, obviously, because this is basically a very new knife. And I think I only have one other with a craton handle. I imagine this will wear faster than a micarta or a G10, and at some point may wear through. But I would imagine, and from all the reviews that I've seen and research I've done on this knife, it takes a lot. So this is going to last. You got your lanyard hole here. Blade is Sog's fantastic AUS 8 or AUS 8 blade steel. A stainless steel that I believe they do a cryogenic heat treat on it. I have a number of Sogs, folders and fixed, that have the AUS 8, and it is easy to sharpen, holds a pretty good edge, easy to sharpen in the field, takes a razor edge. I haven't touched this one up, but it is sharp. Let me show you guys here. And this is after pounding it through a bunch of wood and stuff like that. It like I said, that's right out of the box, and after a fair amount of use in the field on wood and stuff like that, so still cutting paper, no problem. So that Oz 8 will take a great edge. Overall length 9.9 inches, so basically a 10-inch knife. 6.2 ounces, which is really nice, so it's not a real heavy knife. It feels solid in hand, but not like a lead weight. As you can see here, this obviously is the sort of satin finished plain edge. I believe that at least at some point you could get a partially serrated. I've never seen one in stores. I do not know if they still carry those. On their website, on Sog's website, this is the only model that they list at this point. So you may be able to find the older variations at some retailers, I'm not sure. They also used to have a black and blade version, which I believe they don't make anymore either. It's basically a clip point with an unsharpened swedge here. It's ground down, but it is not sharp whatsoever. There is a fantastic run of jimping at the base of the blade here. Just, I feel that'll show up. Look how sharp that is. It's almost like a sawtooth, but it's not. Your thumb just locks in there. If you need your thumb there, great, but not so sharp that it hurts, but your thumb isn't moving anywhere. And then between the jimping and where that swedge starts, there's about, I'd say, 1 inch to 1.5 inches here of ultra sharp edge. And I mean not cutting sharp, but 90-degree angle. And this thing literally throws the best sparks from my ferro rod, at least from my rod, of any knife of mine that I've tried on there. I mean, you only got about that much edge, which is more than enough. That's wider than any ferro rod I've ever seen. But man, does it throw fire, this thing. It is unreal. Metal cross guard here with basically a finger guard, no thumb ramp or anything like that. You just got the jimping. Well, I find this kind of weird. They have this almost like serrated, this guard, and it actually, if you rub your fingers on there, it actually is uncomfortable. I don't find that I ever, when I'm using this knife, my fingers have never kind of done that. So it's not, I guess it's not a big issue in use. I just find it kind of weird. I'm not sure why they did that. Obviously it's for aesthetics only, I would think, but I think they could have just left it plain, but whatever. That's a minor complaint. It comes with a leather sheath. This is kind of my only criticism of this knife. It's okay. Big belt loop, which is kind of nice, I guess. I mean, it does fit. It holds it quite snug, actually. It will fall out if I shake it too hard. There you go. But, and then a snap closure with a, I think it's actually a plastic snap. It feels kind of cheap. It works. I mean, it'll hold your knife and it'll keep it on your belt, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of leather sheaths to begin with unless they're really done right. This one, you can see showing some wear and tear already from where I go to put it in and don't index properly. This really sharp tip, which I didn't mention. It's got one heck of a tip on there. Nice and strong. Great for piercing, stabbing, poking, whatever you want. But it also catches the leather if you're not careful when you're going to insert it. It'll catch there, and as you can see, we've got a couple good slices into the leather there already. Not a big deal. That's purely looks, aesthetic, but you know, that'll wear over time. Something I discovered though through another channel on YouTube is that if you happen to have a Sog Seal Pup Elite, which I do, the MOLLE sheath that it comes with basically fits this knife perfectly. So you got your MOLLE on the back, belt loop, pocket here if you want to throw a sharpener or small multi-tool or whatever in there, and now you have a nylon sheath. And I'd say that that's metal snap, a step up from the leather, except that I didn't really like the sheath too much either and replaced it with a custom Kydex sheath, which you guys have seen if you watch my videos for my Seal Pup Elite. So I have not yet, but at some point in the near future I'm going to be looking around and finding a Kydex sheath for this. I like this knife enough that I think it'll be worth it. because I plan on carrying this one. And I found a few. I won't mention them yet because I haven't purchased them, and in case I don't, but for about 40 bucks that look really good for this knife. So when I do get one and it arrives, I'll do a video and show you guys. But as I've shown kind of in the B-roll here, I put this thing through its paces. I did a little bit of chopping, some light chopping, which I would dare say this knife was not designed to be a chopper. It's just not heavy enough. But it did it. I cut down a small green tree, no problem. Then I did some carving with it, took the bark off that tree, carved it down a little more, did a little batoning with it, which worked just fine. I mean, again, with that 5.2 inch blade, you're not going to span a 6-inch log, obviously. But again, that's not what this is for. This isn't it's not the RTAC 2, it's not a BK9. This is a, like I said, a jack of all trades, and sort of I guess I call it a medium duty bush knife. I'd say a light duty. This would be medium duty, and something like that RTAC would be heavy duty. But 90% of what I do would be medium duty stuff, so this will be plenty. Like I said, chopped with it, did some carving. What else did we do? Oh, the ferro rod. Man, did it do a ferro rod fantastic. Everything I did, it did adequately, like for the chopping to superbly everything else. So anyway, guys, try to keep this under 15 minutes. Like I said, this is the Sog Nw Ranger. Fantastic knife. I would recommend. This has been around for years already. There's a lot of reviews out there on it, but which I guess kind of prompted me to get it when I saw it. And you can get it. I got this at Cabela's Canada for 80 bucks here, $79.99, which compared to other knives in Canada here at Canadian prices, I think is a steal for a really solid fixed blade. Yeah, I'll probably end up replacing the sheath, but you definitely don't have to. That leather one will serve you just fine. In the States, obviously, you can pick this thing up for far less than 80 bucks, probably 60 bucks, and at 60 bucks, man, is it worth it. Fantastic blade. Can't say that enough. Anyway, guys, UrbanSuburban here, trying to keep this short. Have a good night, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.